Namaskarams to Swamiji and my friends on the dais and the elders who are assembled here, the teachers, the students. I have never participated in the book release of a person who is alive. Never. But I made an exception in this case for 4 reasons. Because it was about Yogi Adithyanath. Yogi Adithyanath is not a normal politician, he's not an ordinary politician. In fact, when I see how Yogi Adithyanath came up, my mind went back to a lecture which I heard sometime in 1971. Imagine you remembering a lecture in 1971, because that lecture was the shortest lecture I ever heard in my life. So the person who had come to give a lecture, he was supposed to speak for 1 hour. He said, today morning I read a newspaper in which the news item described Mrs. Indira Gandhi, the Prime Minister, coming down from the aircraft wearing a white sari with a blue border. That is a news item. So he said, the newspapers, the readers, the people are interested in the ordinary things about extraordinary people. But we are here to know about the extraordinary things in ordinary people. This lecture I could never, he said, I want you to think about it, and he left the podium. It was a training class, all of us were in, and this was an RSS training class. And he said, for the next 1 hour, you think about what I am saying, because the idea of education, the idea of any training, is to discover extraordinary things in ordinary people. That is the process by which Yogi Adityanath's greatness was discovered by one person. He was his guru. He, at a very young age, he identified the extraordinary quality in him, and that is how we have Yogi Adityanath. You know, we see politicians, we all rank politicians, we all club politicians, we bracket them, but you cannot bracket Yogi Adityanath for 3 reasons. And of course, all you have mentioned all the reasons, but the important thing is that he did it in Uttar Pradesh is important. Uttar Pradesh was written off, that it was an ungovernable state, that it is a state of crime, it is a state of corruption, it is a state of communal riots. If you look at the communal riots that have taken place in the country, almost 40% of them would have been in Uttar Pradesh. Of course, at some stage I used to follow it, but in the last 4 or 5 years, 10 years, there is no communal riot at all. And so we have forgotten about communal riots, otherwise we used to track where is the communal riot. Now you have to find out where is the communal riot, because there is no communal riot at all. The credit goes to a person who had the grit and the determination and the courage to put his qualities to use in the office and not compromise it for power. That's why I came here, because this was a book about Yogi Adityanath. I met him in 2007 in the RSS Karyalaya in Delhi. That was my first meeting with him. He was far young at that time. In fact, we exchanged only a few sentences. That was the beginning of our relationship. Afterwards, we never met. But he is such a humble person. I sent a message through Santanu that I want to talk to Yogi Adityanath. Within 10 minutes, the man called me. Of course, I had nothing personal to ask him. The Kanchi Shankaracharya was going to Uttar Pradesh for Chaturmas. So I wanted the Uttar Pradesh, I had spoken to Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra governments. I wanted him to facilitate his stay there because after several decades, a Shankaracharya from south is going to Kashi for Chaturmas. Within 10 minutes the call came, I only told him that this is the requirement. He said, I have been told about it, I am acting on it. So, I had nothing to do. I only got the information and passed it on to the Shankaracharya. What I am saying is the humility. The most important thing, the greatest people, most powerful people, most educated people have to have is humility. So, I made an exception, not participating in the book release of people who are alive for that reason. Second, this Shantanu is a very difficult man. He came to my office and grabbed me and made me talk something, and then felt that there is something in the man. He brought his young child. The boy is, I missed him. You know, he home educates this boy. He feels the education today is not all that great, it may even pollute his son. So, that got registered in my mind. So, when he is asking me to come, I didn't want to say no. The third reason is Seshad Poonawala. I have been an admirer over the way he articulates. And so, I have not met him. So, this may be the occasion for me to meet. I don't know when I will meet him later. I am sitting in a corner in Chennai. These are all people ruling the country. So, I thought I would get an opportunity to meet him. Of course, the last and the most important reason is that it is Chinmaya Mission and Swami Mitrananda is going to be here. So I am extremely happy that Chinmaya Mission provided the platform and Swamiji took the initiative, and Yadyatacharati Sreshtaha Tattattevi Itarojanaha Sayat Pramanam Kurute Lokastat Anuvartate. This is the rule of functioning of the world and the social order. People look at who is the Sreshta, who is the ideal person, and then follow him. And they make him the role model or pramana. And if that person is a wrong person, the entire society is corrupted. The entire society degenerates. So it is our responsibility to project the right kind of people so that the society will have some good people to look at and draw lessons from their life. It is not only for personal advancement. Of course, there are many great people, many great industrialists whose books you can read if you want to come up in life in that way. But someone who has shown a very comprehensive capacity, not only to come up in a highly competitive field called politics, and being a religious leader of a particular denomination, and to be acceptable to all, is something which we have to learn. One politician asked me in the year 1990, Mr. Gurumurthy, how to become acceptable to all. In fact, I have written about it in Thuklak. Of course, he became chief minister in Karnataka later. I told him that in Shukraniti, in the sloka 68 or 69, I don't remember exactly what it is, Shukra told the Asuras, which the Asuras did not follow. Shukra told the Asuras, never declare anybody as your enemy. Even if you have enmity in mind, don't declare it. Because after you declare, everybody will think you are his enemy. Even if you change, people will not believe. So don't declare your enmity to others. The second thing is, don't allow anybody to declare you as their enemy. Then the man asked me, I can stop doing the first thing. How can I prevent doing the next thing? Then I asked him, you are a politician. Of course, what I am going saying may help Seshad Poonawala. I said, somebody declares you are my enemy. Next day you will say, what are you doing? I am your friend. I will come to your house for a cup of tea. and invite all the media and go and have a cup of tea with him. The man said, it's a brilliant idea. I said, this is how in politics, you have got to endear yourself to everybody. You should have no enemies. You should not allow anybody to declare as his enemy. And I think in spite of all the strong positions, even in appearance, that Yogi Adithyanath has, I think he has no enemy. Thank you very much.